So I've been thinking about regrets a lot, and it all started when back in the day, Martin, my business partner, was asking me, "So, what, what like really pains you?" And at first, I was like, this typical marketing question. I don't like it." But then, I trust him, so I really engaged with the question, and what actually came up quite clearly for me, which I was kind of surprised about, but was regrets. Right? It does pain me when people sit at the end of their lives, or at the end of a significant chapter, or at the precipice of an important transition, and they regret what they could have or should have done, or the things that they didn't do. But what got to me is that often when you have these conversations that you have in coaching, or sometimes as a good friend, in therapy, maybe with a good mentor or a manager, navigate and become more aware and make more conscious choices in the moment. Step away from all the busyness of life and have some space to yourself to really make conscious decisions. Then when you make those decisions consciously, chances are you're not going to have those regrets, because you can trust that at the time you made the best decision possible for you. At least you took the time to honor the importance of the decisions that you're making. Being more conscious and present with the decisions that are on the table leads to a lot less regret later on. When my dad passed, I was sitting there and I was listening in and see other regrets. Because there's a lot of questions we can ask ourselves when a parent passes. Have I spent enough time with them? Have I said all the things? Have I appreciated them enough? Have I buried the hatchet? Have I forgiven? Have I spoken words that needed to be spoken? When somebody dies, it's pretty final. Sartre talked about how hell is other people, and what he part of that is that we always compare ourselves to others, right? We cannot live in isolation. But also a big part of what he meant is, or at least how I interpret it, is that once you die, or once somebody dies, there is no more that you can talk about. You cannot justify what you meant. You cannot clarify anything anymore. That's the final piece, right? Everything else, you can still have your thoughts about it, but um, that's gone, right? So it's a significant marker. And I was really quite grateful to find myself not having those regrets, right? Yes, there's a thing here or there that probably could have been talked about, or maybe encouraged more, maybe have that conversation or find out about how that experience was. But there wasn't anything major that was left unsaid. And I did spend as much time with him as possible. And we brought our daughter there. So, there really was a good bond. Like those regrets weren't there. And I'm just really grateful that I spent my time conscious about the finitude of life. And this was surprising, but also not surprising. So we thought we would have a lot more time, but still, it's about living in the present as much as you can while also thinking about the future. It's a difficult balance, intricate, can be really tricky to make that balance between spending time moving towards the future and planning for it and working towards something in the future, and also really be present, right? There can be in some tension. But yes, regrets can be a bitch, and a lot of people sit with that. So I really want to invite people to be present with their choices. And when life, which it inevitably does at times, takes over and you feel like you're on autopilot, just make a conscious decision to take a step back. And this could be a minute of meditation. It could be having half an hour for yourself when you exercise. It could be just sitting in stillness in whatever way you choose, not distracting yourself when the call to engage in social media or a TV show or drinking is loud, right? It could be coaching. It could be talking to a good friend and reconnecting. But is that stepping away from the busyness of life and really being with it? I think that's a very important call and a good reminder.